Hi class, it's Mrs. Garibaldi. Happy April Fool's Day. Today is Wednesday, April 1st, and I am here today with your reading lesson for the day. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead, we're going to go into Mayan, my friends. And so I have Mayan up here. I am going to search for the book for today, and today's book is Spotted, oops. Here we go. Sorry about that. Spotted Beetles. And let's search. I think I found it. It says Spotted Beetles by Nancy Lowen. So let's see if this one, let's look at the info to see if this is the book by Nancy Lowen. Let's see. It is author Nancy Lowen. So my friends, that's how you can check. So if you have an assignment for a Mayan book and you're not sure which one it is, you can always go into the info, like where we go to see if it's the just right book for us, right here. And you can click the I for information and it will give you the author as well. So we're going to read this book today, okay? Here we go. Oops. Let me turn the volume up for you. All right, here we go.
Spotted Beetles, Ladybugs in Your Backyard. Written by Nancy Lowen. Illustrated by Melissa Voda. Bright beetles. It's wonderful in the garden. Tiny cucumbers are forming on the vines. New tomatoes look like pale green marbles. Spiky onion tops bend in the breeze. The best part is, if you look closely, you can see a whole world of tiny creatures. Look at that potato plant. Little spotted domes are moving slowly over its leaves. You know what they are. Ladybugs. It's fun to watch ladybugs fly. 1 second, there's a tiny black blur in the air. Then suddenly, there's a bright beetle crawling around. Here comes another one. There are 5,000 kinds of ladybugs. Most are orange, red, or yellow, but some are white or black. Not all species have spots. The convergent ladybug is the kind described in this book. It is the most common ladybug found in North America.
Wow, you guys, I had a question yesterday that I was thinking to myself. I wonder if all ladybugs have spots because we found out, oh, maybe that was actually, you know what? That was Monday. I'm getting my days confused. So on Monday, we found out that ladybugs can be all sorts of different colors like yellow and orange and red. But I thought to myself, I wonder if they all have spots. And this book answered that question. It says here in this fun fact, not all species have spots. So there are some ladybugs that don't have spots at all. So I want you to think about this question. Where do ladybugs live? So where do you think ladybugs live? I think that one place ladybugs could live is in the garden because that's where all of their food would be, right? And they probably could also find some shelter there to be able to be safe. And also, I know that plants need water to grow. And so I bet that the gardeners will make sure that their plants have water, which means the ladybugs could get some water too, which are all of the things that ladybugs need: food, water, and shelter. Let's keep going. Oh, before we go, I wanted you to look at this right here. That's called a fun fact box, or sometimes we call it just like a little fun fact. And you know what I see? It's like a little magnifying glass. So some authors, they do it in boxes, they'll do it in circles, and some do fun little pictures like this magnifying glass. And so fun facts like this are where you can find more information about the topic. So the author is able to squeeze in more information. All right, let's keep going.
What do ladybugs eat? It looks like the ladybugs aren't the only bugs visiting the potato plant. Those tiny green insects are aphids. They're also called plant lice. Aphids are a ladybug's favorite food. By eating aphids and other small insects, ladybugs keep plants healthier. In fact, people often buy ladybugs to get rid of pests in the garden.
Did you know that you can go online and you can order ladybugs to be mailed to your house so you can let them go in your garden and they can eat all of the bugs? Ladybugs are one of the best ways for you to get rid of bugs and pests in your garden. I know Mrs. Vieira, our friend Mrs. Vieira from school, she's purchased ladybugs before to put in her garden so she didn't have to use any chemicals on her food. It's amazing. All right, my friends. So what do ladybugs eat and how is that helpful to farmers? So first, we know that ladybugs eat pests in the garden. And so how is that helpful to farmers and gardeners? I think that you're right. If you are thinking that ladybugs eat the bugs that eat the plants, you're right. So then that way, the plants stay healthy and the farmers can harvest the plants and either eat them or sell them to people that will eat them for food. You're right. All right, let's keep going.
What happens to ladybug eggs? What are those tiny yellow beads under that leaf? They're probably ladybug eggs. Ladybugs lay their eggs where there are lots of aphids. The eggs will hatch in 3 to 5 days.
We read about those eggs on Monday, didn't we? We read that the ladybugs lay their eggs underneath leaves to help protect them from predators, right? But it also says here that the ladybugs lay their eggs where there are lots of aphids. That way, when the eggs hatch, their babies can go and eat aphids right away and have food to eat. That's pretty smart.
What comes out of a ladybug egg? It doesn't look like a ladybug. It's a larva. Look, there are some on that leaf. They look like hungry little alligators.
They do.
A larva will eat aphids and other small insects. It will grow for 3 to 4 weeks. Then it will stick its body to the bottom of a leaf, and a shell will form around it. It will become a pupa. Here's one. It looks a little like a bird dropping, doesn't it? But in 7 to 10 days, a new ladybug will come out of it. New ladybugs don't have spots. It takes a day or so for their spots to appear.
So let's think about the life cycle of a ladybug. What happens first? Where does a ladybug come from? That's right. A ladybug will lay an egg, and so the life of a ladybug starts as an egg, and then it hatches. Do you remember what it hatches into? Yeah, it hatches into a larva. And then after the larva, it grows a shell around it and becomes a pupa. And then it says here, in about 7 to 10 days, the new ladybug comes out of the shell and it's a ladybug or an adult. That's really cool. And then the adult goes and lays eggs and starts the life cycle all over again. Amazing.
How long do ladybugs live? Most adult ladybugs live for a few weeks to a few months. Some ladybugs that hatch in early autumn live much longer. They find a hidden place and sleep all winter. Then, in the spring, they mate and the females lay eggs. The life cycle starts all over again. Ladybugs often end up indoors for the winter. They find a quiet place to sleep, but might wake up on a sunny day.
Huh, that's really interesting. So let's go back into the text and find out how long do ladybugs live? And I'm going to read the first sentence here. Most adult ladybugs live for for a few weeks to a few months. So some of them only live a few weeks and others live a few months, which is a long time for a ladybug. It says some ladybugs that hatch in early autumn live much longer because what do they do in the winter? Yeah, it sounds like they hibernate, right? And so they find a quiet place and they sleep all winter long. Do you know of another animal that does that? A bear, you're right, a bear does that. That's really interesting that a ladybug and a bear have something in common. Let's keep reading.
Tricky bugs. Here's a ladybug on its back with its legs folded in. Is it dead? Maybe, but it might be pretending to be dead. That's one way ladybugs keep from being bothered by other animals. Bigger insects, toads, and birds sometimes eat ladybugs, but they don't like to eat ladybugs that already are dead. A ladybug's bright color also keeps it safe. The color is a sign to enemies that the ladybug doesn't taste good.
Hey, that's kind of like the frogs that we learned about, right? The brightly colored frogs. They were to tell predators that they weren't safe to eat. The ladybug does the same thing. It has bright colors that are a sign to their enemies or predators that the ladybug is dangerous or doesn't taste good. It's amazing. Wow. What is another way that the ladybugs protect themselves from predators? Let's go back in the text and find out, you guys. So it says that the ladybug pretends to be dead because that's one way for the ladybugs to keep from being bothered. Because bigger insects, toads, and birds, they like to eat ladybugs, but they don't like to eat ladybugs that are already dead. So the ladybugs pretend to be dead. That's amazing.
A friend in the garden. It looks like this one is alive after all. And see, it likes you.
Nice. All right, my friends, one of the things I want to do before we go is there were some words in that text today that were maybe a little difficult to read, but we can read them by remembering our silent E. And so I'm going to write on my paper a word, and we're going to look at the word and see if we can figure it out, okay? So I have my crayons and my paper, and we're gonna try to do some word work today, okay? So one of the words that were in that book was this word. Now, if I look, I see an E at the end. That E makes the first vowel say its name. And when it says its name, it says what? Does it say eh or E? It says E, you're right. So let's try it. Ear. And then this one doesn't say anything. So let's try it. Ear. Here. That's the word here. Let's try another one. I have one that I thought this was interesting that the author would call a ladybug. Actually, it wasn't a ladybug. It was an aphid, this. And they called it this word. Now remember, the E at the end is silent, so it doesn't say anything. And it makes this vowel say its name. What's the name of this vowel? I, you're right. And so this doesn't say anything, and this says I. So let's sound out this word. Ice. Now, I know that sometimes C says k, but I know like is spelled like this because it's one of our sight words. So I know this is like. So that word is like. So I'm going to swap out the k for the s sound. Okay? So now let's say it. Ice. Lice. They called aphids plant lice. I thought that that was really interesting. All right, my friends. So as you're reading My Own Books or reading independently, don't forget when you see the E at the end of a word, it is silent and it makes the first vowel say its name. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed our reading lesson today, and I hope you learned a lot about the spotted beetle. I thought that was a really cool title too. All right, my friends, make sure you tune in for today's writing assignment that is on the YouTube channel and also posted on Edsby. And then make sure that you upload your writing for the day. Have a wonderful day. I wish you well. I love you. I miss you. And I hope to see you soon.